Welcome to South Harmon.
Boom. Right to the point. Let's get it.
Straight to it. The point of
Cheers.
Cheers to you, buddy. Hey, speaking of, Mike, cheers. Let me ask you, JSN, where do you have him? And we don't have to necessarily get right into the meat and potatoes, but like he's obviously playing really, really well. He's honestly looked great. He's the focal point of the offense.
You're not fucking around tonight, are you?
Well, I'm fucking around. We're right into it. By the way, we got. I'm curious before we get to the wide receiver 1 point though, Mike.
My man.
Are you actually like how impressed are you, and what is the range of outcomes? Did you see him playing this well at all so far this year?
I don't think there was anybody who thought he was going to be this good. This good. You know, there's definitely some people who are standing for him, but
sure.
I mean, we're legitimately going to have a wide receiver 1 conversation in Dynasty about tonight. Like, this is happening. Yeah,
I mean, I think listen, he's definitely in the conversation. I don't have him at 1, but having the conversation is there's a lot of reasons why I think it's warranted to at least discuss. I mean, he's certainly in the elite tier. Keep Trade Cut has him at 5. I'm sorry, 4. Just past Amon-Ra for the record.
Keep moving up. Moving on up.
The one thing is when you look at their again, this is one source and it's crowdsourced and it's easy to look at, right? But Mike, the big thing that I do still see while he is ascending, and rightfully so, there's a big gap as far as value goes between him, Chase, Nakua, and Jefferson. Although he is knocking on the Jefferson door. 81.34 for JSN, 85.76 Jefferson, but then 9,198 and 9,523 for Chase. I mean, a lot of that is semantics at the end of the day. But the one thing to me that's crazy, if you look at Ja'Marr Chase last game, okay? Ja'Marr Chase last week had 23 targets. For those that aren't really, familiar with how insane that is, that's 3rd all-time ever in a fucking game, okay? Mm-hmm. So before that, though, Mike, JSN is literally in the conversation for, as far as targets go, number 1 in the entire NFL. And even after that, he's still at 3. I mean, Mike, if you look at his game logs without watching, which honestly it's more impressive to watch, you're looking at basically right now like a walking 10-plus target guy, right? So that to me is already, the alpha that we weren't necessarily sure that we were going to get.
While Chase is beating him in targets, 80 to 70 on the year so far, the target share for JSN is significantly higher. We're talking a few percentage points up there. I mean, number 1 in the entire league. So of the targets to go around in that Seattle offense, it's the JSN show and the JSN show only. Not that Ja'Marr Chase is a slouch, but they have no defense. They haven't been able to run the ball until last week. Then they finally were able to run it a little bit after they targeted Ja'Marr Chase a billion times.
Well, I mean,
that kind of opened up the running game after that. Who knew? I mean, you should have done that before.
Well, yeah. We'll get to Joe in a minute. But, I mean, yes, definitely the target share is legit. But at the same point, I don't think the Bengals that we can project after last week, especially that, they're not going to be chucking the ball all over the place. So at the end of the day, number of opportunities are the number of opportunities. The main thing for JSN to me too, Mike, is that I don't know how many games you've seen him play if you're watching this. Mike, he's with Cooper Kupp's addition, right? There was some worry. Is he just a slot merchant? Is that gonna kind of be a problem for him in the way that he operates? He's operating. He's basically flipped his game around as far as where he's operating from. Was a 75% slot guy to almost 75% out wide guy. And this is kind of the style of play that we, I think, thought we were going to get right away out of the box as a rookie that was so highly talented. But he's really proving it right now. And listen, the guy's 23. And the big thing as well is not just how well he's playing, but Sam Darnold too.
One of the craziest things, Adam, I'm young enough to remember us having to talk people off the ledge on JSN.
What ledge was that?
Yeah, we were having to tell people to pump the fucking brakes, Hey, JSN in the 7th round of your startup's a pretty good value following his rookie year. You guys shouldn't be panicking. Go ahead and take him. It'll be fine. Sure. And now here we are 2 years later. No, but to your point about he kind of got pigeonholed as a slot merchant. He did. He got pigeonholed like he was – no shade to like an Amon-Ra St. Brown type. right? But that kind of is what we felt like his game was. Lacked long speed, couldn't really get downfield. I mean, we saw it at Ohio State, but anytime that you do it in college and then you don't see it right away at the NFL level, you go, well, you're playing against college competition, right? Those guys are slower. There's not a lot of NFL corners he's facing. Of course, you can get deep on those kind of guys. Let's see you do it against the best of the best in the NFL. And through the first couple of years, I don't think we really saw the downfield usage. You saw some shots, but it wasn't heavily involved, right? It wasn't heavily used as a field stretcher.
Yeah.
And then this year, to your point, Cooper Kupp comes over, and we have all these question marks about how they're going to use 2 slot guys, right? Why the hell do you even bring Cooper Kupp over? JSN's your slot guy. Just feed him.
Yeah.
And this year, he's leading the league in deep targets, right? JSN leading the league in deep targets. And I think last week, too, that deep bomb that he had, you knew he had speed, but I didn't know he had that kind of speed. The 4.5 40 that, he ran allegedly looks a hell of a lot faster than that when he's got pads on playing in a game, because he absolutely fucking torched that secondary. And he's been torching defenses all year, but last week was like, wow, even for me, I was like, fuck, this dude can fly.
No,
this dude can fly. Maybe it's the number 11. Maybe it's his build or whatever, but I was like, man, if you didn't know any better, if you'd never watched JSN play, you're like, Deshaun Jackson? Jackson? Is that D-Jax out there?
Yeah.
That's how fast he looked running down the field against that defense last week. So, man, I don't know what the hell else we want from him in order to elevate him rightfully into this, legit conversation as, is he one? Is he tied with one? Is he in the same tier as one? Because we've seen him be a target hog. We're also seeing him be deep. We've seen him show off the speed. He's putting up the fantasy points. 22 points per game on the season with a low output of only 13, Adam. Mm-hmm. 13's his bad week so far this year.
Sure. Yeah,
Jesus. Sometimes I got to
pray.
I got to pray and beg some of the fucking players on my team just to score me 13. Please, my guy, if you could give me 13 this week, it'd be clutch.
Damn, if you got them listening to you, good for you. I don't know how you get them to do that. I've not had that luck ever. But to answer the question, just frankly, right? I think the reason for me, this is going to come down to a matter of opinion, but the reason for me he is not one and is not in the tier of the truly top 2, 3, whatever you think of Puka, okay? It's staying power, Mike. He is looking every bit of the part, and if he continues to do this, sure. But right now, at this moment, I think the reason his value isn't quite the same as those other guys is we've seen them do it for an extended period of time, right? And not that JSN won't continue to do this. I can't, tell you that. I'm not trying to foreshadow that he isn't going to do that. But if he was to take a step back, right? Chase, Puka, Jefferson have all had their moments of step backs, whether it's Puka's injuries, whether it's Stafford being hurt, whether it's Jefferson in the quarterback play, whether it's Chase in the quarterback play. But we know it's coming back, right? I think for the moment with Jaxon Smith-Njigba, if there was a lull, let's say, I don't think the Dynasty gamer would be very patient.
Yeah, you have a point. We've seen multiple seasons, top 5 seasons out of Chase. You've seen him out of Jefferson. You've seen him out of Lamb, Amon-Ra, Puka now. But that next group, and I'm going to put 3 dudes in there. All 3 dudes deserve to be in there. JSN, Malik Nabers, and Emeka Egbuka. They're ready to kick this door down. If we can continue, I wouldn't even say we need multiple seasons of it, Adam. But if they could finish this season, like Egbuka and JSN, if they can finish this season hovering around this top 5 range, anywhere around this top 5 range, there's your solidification, right? Now all of a sudden everybody's like, okay, we're good. As the season keeps progressing on with Egbuka and with JSN, if they continue to do it week after week, for the fantasy season, there's your staying power. But it has to be this year, right?
Sure.
You can't afford these lulls. We can't have a 4-game or a 5-game stretch where they're 10 points, 12 points, 13 points, something like that, in order to maintain this momentum that they have.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to primarily be speaking a little more from a dynasty value lens perspective, right? The way that I think the majority of dynasty gamers are going to look at the situation, right? And this is the other thing to keep in mind with JSN. Mike, of the guys that we just mentioned, CD would be the only one that really didn't like come out of the gates absolutely on fire.
Smoking, yeah.
Right? And JSN, the reason I say the staying power is because what are we going to do if he does have a lull, right? We'll look at the total body of work and we'll say, well, he started slow. He's had a great start to the year, but you saw the slow build, right? And basically everyone else in this tier has had absolutely slam dunk rookie seasons, right? And slam dunk second years. JSN has built himself to this point. I'm not per se like worried about that as far as his future production, but if we're talking about the creme de la creme, Mike, and that I think is where while I have JSN ahead of Egbuka at the moment, Egbuka right now with, unfortunately, the injury to Evans and what's going on with Godwin, while he does have the hamstring and didn't have a great game, is in a really advantageous spot as far as opportunity this season to really put, slam dunk a great rookie season. And similar to JSN, 5-star kid, the whole work as far as the body of work and the prospect. So the only thing JSN really has is in this range, if we're going to pick hairs, right? That would be the things.
Yeah. One of the most interesting ones, though, if we look at it, like I'll put Nabers into this category, and I know you had him as wide receiver 1 in the offseason, right? But when we talk about staying power, right, that's off of 1 year with him. This second year that we saw, obviously with the injury, didn't go the way we wanted to, right? You can't predict that. But even if you take the game he actually tore his ACL off, I mean, he had 1 out of 3 games this year was actually good. The other 2 were way below average to downright miserable. He had 1 average game and then 1 blow up game and then 1 absolutely horrendous game and then 1 game he tore his ACL. So
sure,
I don't think necessarily you need to have like extreme staying power, when I'm talking about like JSN. But to your point too, it's a lot easier to propel somebody like a Nabers up there or a Puka in this case up there based on rookie year and how well they did in their rookie year, right? Because it's all that excitement. You don't have any of that bad taste, as much as he's rebounded from his rookie year, JSN's rookie year, that still weighs in the back of people's minds. Like, hey, I remember when Tyler Lockett was your daddy, right? I remember when you couldn't really beat that guy out. Which
luckily,
now he can't have a job.
Luckily, if you remember who drafted JSN, we're watching him kind of almost find a way to implode a team that wasn't good anyway. So you could at least blame that on the old man, if you want to do that. Well,
not even that too, but this the Shane Waldron thing.
I mean, sure. I mean,
listen, the body count of Shane Waldron wide receivers.
You can stack up. You can stack up a pro case for JSN and the situation he had in his rookie season, and even the start of his second year. To this question, no. I think the reason for me it's so impressive is because I honestly thought JSN was this talented, Mike. He didn't go in the top 10, so I think like again when we're splitting hairs here, draft capital, right? And didn't get the top 10, but I thought he would be. But you're seeing the reason I'm not worried about the quarterback play. He can do it in the slot. He can do it outside. And he is an absolute route running god, savant. I mean, so I'm not really worried about it because what I'm also seeing, Mike, in this offense, man, when he's calling plays, man, he just literally gets the ball to his playmakers. JSN, Mike, even if the quarterback play was to taper off or there was an injury, I believe they're just going to make sure to manufacture him touches. They do it early. They do it often. I'm really not worried about his quarterback play, frankly.
Well, you've also seen him with 2 subpar quarterbacks now, right? Like we thought once upon a time maybe Geno was good, and then he goes to Vegas this year, and you're like, no, that dude's straight ass. He's booty water.
Are you talking Darnold?
I'm talking
the old name.
Yes, Darnold's fine. He's fine. He isn't good, Adam. Jesus. Okay, fuck it. We'll talk about Darnold then. I don't want to do this, but he's okay.
Well,
he's okay.
Listen, he's going to be. I think that'll be a good conversation for like a 4D chess. But one of the things that we're seeing in the NFL, Mike, is listen. Baker Mayfield goes to Carolina, looks awful. Sam Darnold, Carolina Jets. Kind of not a surprise he looks awful when you're looking at the track record. And the other thing, too, is former players or quarterbacks with that type of draft capital, actually getting a chance to develop. I mean, Mike, at the moment, especially with cost considerations, Darnold, say what you want about him, but I mean, versus a lot of these younger quarterbacks that cost way more, I don't get it, honestly. But that's neither here nor there, really. When I'm talking about JSN, Mike, even if you think Darnold's bad, whether you do or not, I mean, if Darnold's bad, that's better for JSN because that means there's opportunity for better quarterback play down the road. So as far as quarterback play, I'm not really worried about it. Because with this new situation, Mike, we're seeing there's not another option. The Cooper Kupp is an afterthought. There's one focal point of this offense, and it's strictly JSN.
Well, another good plus for JSN now is this is back-to-back years, right? He had a nice resurgence in value last year.
He had a very slow start. It's kind of crazy when you really look at the –
Yep.
If you were to, really microscopically look, he had a slow start his sophomore year. Like, dude, is this not happening? And then it's been takeoff season ever since like midway – or not even midway, probably like a third of the way through his sophomore year. It's just been – he's been awesome for a year and 2/3.
But one thing towards his staying power, right? You talk about the quarterback play. We got to remember he's done this in 2 different offenses.
Right,
and he had a different offensive coordinator, different scheme, different way they used him last year.
Yep.
And then this year now he's the man, but a brand new scheme, and they devised this scheme around him, making him the focal point. So It's good to see that sustainability between year to year between different quarterbacks and different offenses, albeit on the same team. So that's something too, because we don't necessarily. I mean, listen, Shane Waldron again with Jacksonville. Not that he's calling the plays, but the fucking mere presence of him seems to have killed Brian Thomas Jr. But Brian Thomas Jr.
How'd it go in Chicago?
The biggest question mark that we had about Brian Thomas Jr. was, a lot of his production last year was with Mac Jones. So now he has a different quarterback, right? Trevor Lawrence is back and being healthy. How's he going to mesh with him? And then the different offensive system, like how does that work? And you see sometimes when they change quarterbacks or they change offensive systems, receiver production falls through the shitter. So It's good to see JSN just continues to go. It doesn't really matter what you put in his way. He's going to run past him.
So JSN hype is a bit out of control at the moment. I think this is what this is. I'll say this. Depending on where you go, I can understand it. I mean, the thing is, he's playing at an elite level. This is also a team that's not going to abandon the run. It's not, to Mike's point, part of the reason the target share is so high is because it's not like this is a team that's just chucking the ball, as many times and as often as they have to. So I get it. One of the things that's hard to, I think, for a lot of Dynasty gamers to try to figure out and pulse is just when an asset's really starting to rise, especially when you get into those higher and higher tiers, right? So for JSN, when he was in the 3rd, 4th round range this offseason, right? Like sometimes even late 2nd, but that's a totally different cost than right now he's in the conversation for a 1st round startup pick. That becomes a very different conversation. And I will say this, nothing against JSN or any of the receivers in that tier, but when you start paying that type of a price, especially in a trade, it's rich, buddy, typically. Now, every league's different,
tough.
But it's hard to buy into a player that does ascend into what's considered the wide receiver 1 overall conversation outside of like an auction startup or, a startup draft.
I'd be more worried about it if the metrics around it, like target share, that kind of stuff, deep targets, the efficiency that he's had, and the actual fantasy points of production didn't match up with where the hype was going. You know what I mean? Like if he got to 5, but he's at 18 points per game, handful of deep targets, that kind of stuff, and the target share is good. It's just not super, oh my God, elite like it is. I'd be a little bit more worried. I'd also be worried too if we were having this conversation 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, right? Not enough data, not enough time. But we are over halfway through the regular season of fantasy football. I mean, he is almost matching Jamar Chase's pace, who won the Triple Crown last year and won people leagues flat out as far as fantasy points goes.
Yeah.
And as far as warp data goes through the first 7 weeks, you're going, what else do you want from him, right? Like, I think the hype is warranted because the production and all the metrics match up. It's not like we're inflating him based on nothing, or we're inflating him into elite territory based on good performances. No, these are elite performances, and now we're talking about elite territory, right? We're matched up 1 for 1.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I think, and I'm with you. The one point that was still here is, and this is where for me, I agree with this where he's comfortably sliding in at 5 for me. But these guys have done basically the same thing. They produce in an elite clip, and they've shown me a larger body of work and staying power. That would be why I put these 4 ahead. But again, I think we've kind of personally, I've talked enough about it. I feel like we've glazed the kid. But do you have any other final points before we move on?
No, like I do agree though. It's tough to sit here and go Chase, Puka, Jefferson. Who do you bump out, right?
You don't.
It's hard to look at him for me and go CeeDee Lamb. Who do I bump out, right? Can't.
You don't.
Like I just can't.
And that's where I think again. This is great news for JSN. But Mike, I'll just tell you, pulling up my shares. Mike, I have in 20 Dynasty leagues 9 shares of JSN, and let me just say, while I'm happy about that, I think it's gonna be
time to maybe liquidate a few.
Definitely, and that's hard to admit, but I mean, like you've loved it to this point, but nah, it's I'll shop. I think there's a lot of just artificial though. Sometimes value bump here where I think people do have JSN very high. They love the production, but will they actually pay you the prices of these guys? That I think is the other conversation. If I could sell for these type of prices, Mike, I think I probably would move.
The Amon-Ra conversation is an interesting one because Amon-Ra has been doing it and kind of been disrespected for a while just on how he does it.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I will give you is JSN, I feel like is a sexier Amon-Ra, like a much sexier Amon-Ra.
And why? The prospect profile and the draft capital, right?
Draft capital, prospect profile, the fact that he goes deep, Amon-Ra doesn't go deep. Amon-Ra's got one deep target on the entire year. Yeah. Amon-Ra has one deep target on the entire year. JSN's leading the league in them. And then there's almost a 2 full year age difference between the two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. The shitty part about dynasty wide receivers is the longer you do it for, the more like, we've already seen it. You know what I mean? Like the hype level is gone, and there's no more room for you to go up. So JSN, if I had to rank them in dynasty, like I don't know, man, 1-for-1 trade on those two. I think I'm gonna go with JSN, which would lend me to ranking him higher, just because I feel like I have more options available, more people who would be interested
over
in
Amon-Ra?
JSN over Amon-Ra.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have JSN at 5 and Amon-Ra at 6. So I'm with you there. But I'll say this too. It's well, first Gadsden. Come on, Mike. Give my boy some love. We'll get to Gadsden. Don't worry.
I will. I will give Gadsden all the love as soon as somebody comes and offers me a first for him.
Wow. Jeez. You need to drink a lot more of that, buddy. I mean, although
shit.
I won't say
Jay
that.
Jaxon celebrates 32 months of membership. What up, Jay?
Would you take Nico plus? Well, that's a good question. I think Nico is becoming okay. This is one of the things about JSN versus an Amon-Ra. I will say Amon-Ra is probably not to the Nico conversation, but age-wise, kind of is. And this is the thing about JSN is that type of an asset, right? In their rookie contract, 23, 24 years old. These are extremely flexible and movable assets. Even if JSN was to take a little bit of a step back, right? A guy like Nico, Mike, I feel like basically when I make this trade, regardless of what the plus would be, right? Just theoretically, if I do this, Nico becomes kind of a parked asset for me. Meaning I have to kind of just wait and hope that the production will come back, and that at that point, then there's some, little bit of market movement and interest for him for me to trade him away. Essentially, what I don't like doing, especially at these elite tiers, is giving away my flexibility without getting something that's really nice and enticing back. So, I mean, Mike, for a second, I don't think I would do it, honestly.
Hell no. It's got to be at least a first and probably a plus on top of that in most leagues.
And
right, Adam? Best ball makes it more palatable if you just did Nico in the first. But
realistically, do you think many people are paying that first, though? If so, I think we can have a real conversation about that. But probably not, right?
Which means they're going to end up holding on to their Nico shares as they continue to piss away and bleed value until it's too late. Sure. And all of a sudden, he's in that range of, who gives a fuck? Nico is literally, he's a half a year away from being Terry McLaurin, right? Where we we saw some things out of you, but you've always just kind of, here lately, you've just been whatever. And now I look up and you're 27 and a half years old.
Sure. Well,
fuck it. It's basically over for you, man. Like, it's basically over for you. He doesn't get to enjoy any of that, too, because he started from nowhere. I mean, nothing in his rookie year. Nothing really in his sophomore year. Exploded in his third year. Exploded last year. And now has regressed back to just, it's like a kind of a wide receiver 2-ish, maybe.
Well, and that's where, Jay, I'll just say that to this question, it's a first. You got to come with a liquid first, or if it's a best ball league, let's say a player that's kind of, first worthy. In a lineup league, though, Mike, it's a liquid first, hard, like minimum there. If it's not there, I'm good, because of the difference in assets. Go deep. He don't go deep. That's what she said. I love it, hillbillies. What was I going to? There was sorry, I almost forgot. How could I forget? Let's talk. Because in the same tier as Nico, and I think ascending, we'll see. Obviously, it was one game, okay. But Rashee Rice is buzzing, and Mike, where are you at with again one performance? But I think the main encouraging thing, we talked about this briefly on the recap, is that coming off of a serious allegation and suspension like this, they reward him with, listen, let's just immediately throw the football to him as if it's a run, right? And give him a lot of volume early, which I think kind of leads you to believe that, hey, we're trying to establish him and make sure he knows, and people know he's R1.
To the point, do you have a guess after one game what his ADOT is?
I mean, after that game, it would be freaking low. I'd imagine really low.
You got a guess?
No, it's honestly like damn near line of scrimmage, honestly, it feels like.
0.8.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I didn't want to shoot too low. I probably couldn't have, though,
0.8. 0.8. They force-fed him just every target that they could.
Well, Mike, I remember specifically, vividly specifically, whatever, 2 targets that legitimately are, they might even be negative as far as ADOT goes. Like, they're actually behind the line of scrimmage, but a forward pass. So, yeah, I mean, I would imagine that doesn't really, his ADOT hasn't been typically a big problem over his career, but that is a insane ADOT to your point. It's basically, hey, run the ball.
I mean, last year when he was cooking, his ADOT wasn't anything to write home about either, right?
Sure.
I mean, this isn't a guy that they've ever really used downfield or in the intermediate zone even. I mean, this is Deebo Samuel at his peak is what they were trying to use him as, minus the giving him carries out of the backfield. But who the fuck knows? Maybe they start doing that shit too. They can't really run it with Pacheco. He looks dust.
Yep.
And they don't really seem to want to give Rashad Smith a whole lot of love. I mean, they're working his way up.
They're slowly getting there. I mean, it's definitely not there yet, though. I think with Rashee, though, Mike, here's what I will say. When you're looking at, okay, we talked about that tier with the reason I wanted to talk Rashee, and then we'll get to questions. And, we do have a drawing for a pair of shorts. But, Mike, when I'm thinking about this, JSN, you have a lot of people thinking about it different ways. JSN should just go, like, almost redraft mindset to the moon, like put him at 1 because he's playing at 1, which is, I mean, listen, it's fine. He's young too. Or expand the tier, or he's just on the brink of the tier. Whatever you want to say, right? There's kind of a group of 6, 7 names, right, at the top. Maybe even 8 or 9, depending on.
Fucking kids are going to love you, bud.
What's that?
You did the 6, 7 thing. They're going to love you.
Damn, I didn't even mean to, but you know what? They are going to love that. Go ahead and clip that for me. But Mike, and then you got, on the border, like Emeka Egbuka, Drake London, Rome, right? And I think the next group of players, though, right? There's this unsexy tier, frankly, that is just not the same as the rest of those guys. And, we're at BTJ, we're at Nico, we're at Garrett Wilson, we're at Ladd, right? Marvin Harrison Jr. Rashee, I think, is clearly, in my estimation, based on what we saw, and if this, trajectory continues, he's going to that tier ahead, right? I think that I can say kind of safely he's been there before. He's attached to Mahomes, and if they're going to, really feature him like this, I think the situation and it's not the talent of those players, it's the situation and what they're dealing with at the moment that's kind of really capping their upside. And a lot of it's tied to production. And I think Rashee being on this offense, definitely gives, I think, the Dynasty gamer a totally different feel, which is why I think he is the one that has a chance to get to pretty quickly here with another game or two playing well into that, top 11, 12, 10 range, whatever you want to call it.
There's a couple things more I want to see from Rashee before I get ready to launch him up the rankings.
We'll get ready, but you don't have to pack your bags, but get ready, it's coming.
We're waiting for it. But I'm going to need something better than 7 for 42, right? Like I'm going to need. I get it. He had the touchdowns, made his week great. They fed him a lot of targets at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage. They wanted to get him involved, but not every week are they going to have that luxury. Not every week are they going to be playing the Raiders and beating the shit out of them.
And not every week are they only going to play 3 quarters.
That too. Not every week they're going to only play 3 quarters, but there's going to be games where defenses are going to take that shit away, right? They go ahead. If this is
the hard part is how do you take 7 for 42 away? I guess you tackle them right away, but
yeah, you press them, right? You get up there in the line of scrimmage and you let them throw their fucking 3-yard bubble screens if they want. Go for it. You want to be a Chip Kelly offense? Go for it. Have fun. We'll see how that works out for you. So I want to see some more downfield stuff. I want to see if they can actually creatively get him the football, get him on crossers, get him on digs. I'm not saying they got to run him on 9 routes. That's not really his game.
Sure.
But you need to see something more than 7 for 42, right? I'm not just going to go off the targets, but a 0.8 ADOT is not going to fucking get it done where I'm going to propel you into the range of Tet, Rome, Drake London, Egbuka, Malik Nabers, JSN, Amon-Ra, right? Like,
sure.
You're not going to be able to knock those kind of guys down if you have a 0.8 ADOT, Adam. You just fucking can't. I don't care if you play with the Chiefs or Patrick Mahomes or not.
Let's cut the shit. He's not going to have a 0.8 ADOT for the rest of the season. I mean, come on.
Is it going to be 5? Is it going to be over 5?
Think of Tyler Warren. Does he have to have a great ADOT to be a good fantasy asset? He doesn't.
That's a tight end position, though.
But was Debo a good asset? Like
Debo was a fantastic asset.
Exactly. My point is that Rashee Rice, Mike, in his situation, even if they don't use him downfield, he's not going to get this crazy low ADOT for the rest of the season, right? And he's also not going to only play 3 quarters for the game. I think I hear you. I know where you stand on him, and I get wanting to lean into it. But if they're going to give this guy and this offense, this type of target share, Mike, I mean, the market's going to react up because these other guys just can't go up right now, right? I mean, especially BTJ, I think, was the one that could have, and then Travis Hunter just goes for 100 yards. So there's no one else I think there's just no one in this range, Mike, that has upside without a complete change of what we've been seeing for the season so far, right? You look at BTJ, you look at Nico, you look at Garrett Wilson, God. You look at Ladd. Ladd's been – but Keenan Allen and QJ, what's going to happen there? There's just a lot of uncertainty surrounding those guys. Is Rashee Rice guaranteed to have a great season? No. But I think when you're just looking and projecting, Mike, it's the one that I think is kind of a –
Just so I'm clear, I'm not arguing with you about those guys, right? Rashee's over those guys already.
Well, he's not. I'm just saying he's that basically getting him ahead of those guys. But getting him ahead of those guys basically puts him at Rome and at Tet is my point.
But that's the next group. Like, how can you get above Rome? How can you get above Tet, Drake London, Egbuka?
Well, I was just saying he's going to go into that. He's basically into that tier, right, with what we've seen. So now, as far as going ahead of Rome, I'm not worried, but I know some people are because his all of a sudden Drake London's ahead of him, and 2 weeks of slow play. People are getting very reactionary in Dynasty, but I'm not going to argue him ahead of any of those guys there because they're young.
Chicago going back to like the 80s and wanting to run the football.
Well, DeAndre Swift all these years later, right, Mike?
Mm-hmm. Finally paying off. Finally paying off sticking with him. Before I even start having those conversations about like Tet and Rome, which would be the next 2 bodies.
I'm not ready to put him ahead of those guys. Right. But basically, my point was that he's a wide receiver 1 in Dynasty just by literally being in the same tier as those guys.
Right. I don't know necessarily if that's because he's that good or just because, like you said, Brian Thomas, Nico, Garrett Wilson, Ladd, Marvin, George Pickens. Those is competition.
It's probably a combination of both. I think that people do believe because they saw him last year play well and he started good this game. people do think he is good. But I think also, even if you weren't convinced of that, you can't be how it'd be very hard, I think, Mike, to argue the case for those other players outside of maybe a Nico resurgence. But even there, Mike, it's just that offense just feels that O-line's bad. But again, situations.
Interesting here. One thing I did want to find out, what was Debo's 2021? His massive fucking
That was
year
his big season, right, for Frisco?
Biggest
21?
One? Yeah. Just say usage.
What
See,
you looking for, ADOT?
This is fucking crazy. This is what's crazy to me. Debo Samuel, we think of him as, slot merchant, out of the backfield,
sure,
screens, that kind of shit. ADOT was still 8 points, 8.0 plus.
Yeah.
In that year.
Yeah.
So they use him downfield. It's just my point. They can't be fucking 5. Okay, 5 was him at his peak last year. That's when he was scoring those points, and everybody was losing their mind about Rashee, and that's what kept him here.
But can't it be?
Not at 5.
Well, I think both even last year.
He may get hyped up. He may get hyped up based on touchdowns and targets and the whole thing, Adam. I'm just telling you that's a fucking fugaz. If you want to bet on him and in the approaching the elite tier at a 5 ADOT, that's not something that's sustainable.
Well, I mean, lack of talent around you could make it sustainable. Both of these 0.8 right from this game, and then even last year, we're kind of both really looking at small sample sizes, frankly, too, to remember here. Now, I'm not saying that it couldn't be. Yeah, we have 7 games basically? How about 6, 7?
Good God, you did it again.
You know what I was doing that time. All right. So, Mike, Rashee, Jaxon, there's obviously a lot of assets to talk about. I think we get to the people's questions here, but we do have I was going to do the drawing here first, and Mike, I got a little snippet from the Halloween recap is coming this Sunday. So much to Mike's dismay, Rashee Rice getting all these short targets, and the Halloween recap on its way back. Give you a little short snippet to give you some of the merch, and then we'll get right into the drawing, do the spin the wheel, and we'll get to questions, all right?
Let's do it.
The date was August 26, 1985, and Michael Jordan had just won Rookie of the year prior, and was on a European tour. And during this European tour, he was in Trieste, Italy. At the time, he was playing for Stefano, Trieste, of course, and in this club game, Michael Jordan did something that no one could believe, shattering a backboard. While rocking the club team's orange and black jerseys, of course, he had a pair of orange and black on Jordan 1s. This iconic sneaker, actually, the main one that he wore, had a shattered glass still stuck into the shoe. This then brought on the shattered backboard Jordan 1s. And the GOAT did all of this just so that we now could have Halloween-themed South Harmon Jordans.
Yes, sir, buddy.
That was dope, buddy. That was dope. And by the way, too, I am 39 years young as of yesterday. 39 years young as of yesterday.
Mike, I went straight into it and totally botched. I meant to give you the happy birthday, and how was it?
It was pretty shitty, but that's all right.
Mike, it's perfect.
Whatever.
Speaking of on brand, it was extremely shitty, right? And shittiest, if you will.
But 39 years, Adam. I never heard that fucking story ever. I've never seen that clip of him shattering that backboard either. Like, listen, what is this? Was this a cabal thing? Like, are they trying to keep it from us?
No, it's just, listen, 85, believe it or not, as you could see, I tried to upscale that video. It's just, there's only so much you could do with, high 8s or whatever the hell. 85, I mean, but I wasn't born.
I was still cum.
I don't even think I was, buddy. I hadn't even been thought of or come. So, but yeah, so to that point, right, we got the giveaway tonight. Well, this is the drawing, so it's not a giveaway, but if you win, you get a chance to get the Insidious shorts, right? Insidious shorts, and a chance to press your luck and get a pair of those shattered backboard ones.
Do they have glass in them?
So that's actually pretty cool. Let me show you.
You going to put glass in them for them?
No, they don't. Okay. I mean, the pair that has glass in them, Mike, the OGs, the ones that actually they went for $615,000, the original
that's
pair.
Pocket change, you know.
However, these, see the box? It's got the shattered backboard. Yeah. So that's what these are. But here's a pair of them to let you look, and we're gonna go ahead and just get into the drawing for you. All right. We'll see who wins and if they want to press their luck. All right. Let's get to it.
Hey, you know the rules. Always got to press your luck.
I hope you don't, but I'm sure you should. All right.
Yeah, give me locks, D-walk.
Give me locks, D-walk, Schlump.
Spin.
My luck, Mike, would be Schlump wins and gets the shoes, and I have to find a way to ship those things internationally. So
that's gonna be pricey.
Yeah. All right, D-walk's in the chat. We got people here. Let's get to it. You ready?
I'm praying for Schlump. You know, I'm supposed to be impartial, but
Mike wants to. Speaking of shitty, Mike wants us to go under. All right, let's go.
Let's go Germany in the house.
Let's just keep respinning.
Just keep respinning all night. That's all we're gonna do.
All right, give me locks. Mike, give me locks. That feels like a lock to win the.
Feels like a lock to press his luck and hit him.
Yeah. Shattered cardboard, Jay.
Shattered cardboard.
All right. So give me locks. Are you here? And if not, I'll give the Chill Will rule. By the way, Chill Will, came through, was in Europe, but did take care of getting those his win. So we'll press the luck for him if you're not here. But give me locks if you're here. Let us know. The light button doesn't like. Weird.
The like button. Maybe it's the like button doesn't like. I don't know.
Well, if it doesn't, I mean, you got to press harder. Speaking of, press your luck. All right, we're gonna.
Maybe D-Walk's been drinking too.
D-Walk's. I just realized D-Walk's on. He's pretty upset probably at not getting here. He's only a handful of people on the wheel. All right, we're gonna go ahead and press the luck, and we'll get to questions. All right.
That's what we're doing.
Yep. I mean, give me locks. Fuck it. We ball.
Fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, we ball.
I'm already giving 4-way for the recap, so come on.
Got it. Just a look of despair.
Why not?
Of fucking despair.
Why not? Just put another one on there, Sure. Absolutely.
Something's wrong with your coding. Absolutely.
There you go. So, yeah, we're just we're putting clothes and shoes on these kids' backs over here. We'll let Fizz talk to you, and we'll get to it. All right.
Oh, this is great.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Welcome to South Harmon. Welcome to South Harmon. Hey, welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Another AMA. Ask me anything. Super chat is cool if you wanna pay to play. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Let me introduce you to the tear down king. Mike McNutted, ask your questions, he'll answer anything. ATM, you know Adam put them graphics on the screen. Glad you tapped in now, stay tapped in for the team. Hey, everything is posted. Go follow the socials. South Harmon FF tag us if we get noticed. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Another AMA. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today.
I think I figured it out.
Ooh, we almost.
I figured out what I'm doing, Adam. I need you to make me a wheel. Okay. Powerball numbers. All right.
Oh God.
I'm gonna come on here. I'm gonna press my luck. Okay. Pressing my luck. I want you to spin the wheel and give me the Powerball numbers because that fucker's guaranteed to hit.
Mike,
guaranteed.
I will say. Here's the thing, right? If you remember the Kyle Pitts graphic, if you can't see it, but listen, it's bad. The curse thing is
real.
It might be why I'm into the Halloween streams. It's curse.
Speaking of the Halloween stream in the curse, man, you get our wonderful sponsors, Fanatics, to
giving away 2 jerseys that are fire. Honestly, 5.
Both fire jerseys, right? Both players injured.
Very injured. Very hurt. Godwin feels like he might as well be back on IR, and Hampton is on IR. So, but yeah, man. Hey, listen, merch is merch.
Merch is merch.
All right. So high quality stuff here. Appreciate you, GK. And let's go ahead and get to some questions though that we did have. The poop guys look like the California raisins from Raisin Bran. Trademark infringement. Listen, Buster, you shut your mouth when you're talking to me, okay? They are not raisins. They're not dried out like raisins.
I guarantee you bite into them. They ain't going to taste like raisins.
Maybe.
Might be a raisin in there.
There's something in there. It ain't chocolate covered, though, you know?
It ain't a Hershey Kiss. All
right, Mike, here you go. What sucks is Garrett Wilson is the most talented receiver out of the group, but in a doom situation. I mean, there's definitely also dealing with the injury. So, I mean, I think he's just cemented in this range where he's talented, he can still thrive despite a bad situation, but you feel like the upside's capped. It feels like the upside's been capped since day one, honestly.
I think too, like he'd be quarterback proof if he wore jerseys with tight sleeves.
I'm pretty sure if he did that, Mike, you wouldn't have a bad quarterback. It'd be like a Darnold thing, the resurrection. Like you just bring the play up of everyone.
You'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his sleeves are baggier than this than mine right now. I mean,
he's got the Sam Bradford sleeves on.
Dude, they're like they got the quarterback sleeves they call them, but those are like the baggy quarterback sleeves. Like he had to make the department go back in the day, the baggy ones.
They had to bring somebody in to sew extra fabric onto those sleeves.
Yeah, Matt. Listen, we'll have to. You're not wrong, but I don't know what you want me to do about this, okay? Just, what do they say, add insult to the injury?
We can't ever knock your integrity, all right? Because you've gone so far on integrity that you just get kicked in the teeth.
As soon as the AMA intro kicks on, and I'm like, Mike, did you see that? I was dead to fucking rights. It wasn't even close. It was dead in the middle of shattered.
Cooked.
Let him cook. All right, so, Mike, let me ask you while I get some more questions up. Anything right now for you, hot trades, trades that you got close to making, that you have made, or that you're interested to see, like, what the market kind of is on, specific players?
Well, interesting enough, I just did a team review this afternoon as soon as I got home from work.
I saw that you uploaded it on YouTube. Nice.
Yeah, for Sparky.
What up, Sparky?
Right. And one of the interesting ones is that was a guy who was a contender with no picks for this year.
Sparky had
no picks for this year, so kind of pot committed.
I've seen a handful of his teams. He stays in the DMs. Is it a crazy scoring league or regular?
High running back warp.
I know the league. Scoring. Yep, I know the league. Okay.
Yeah. And he's been doing all this without Amari Hampton, who's been injured for him. He lost Tyreek Hill, and Lamar Jackson hasn't played for, it feels like, fucking forever. And then point per carry, crazy quarterback, crazy running back scoring league, Lamar Jackson is a fucking cheat code. So the fact that the dude's sitting in fourth with a winning record and right there in points with everybody else with that, you're like, okay. But as far as crazy trades, I was interested to see what he could get done for Amari Hampton, right? Because we loved what we saw before he got injured. And then the injury takes place. And now we have a lot of uncertainty on when he's going to be back, what he's going to look like when he's going to be back. Is he going to be slow again? I mean, it's a significant injury for him. It's not season ending, we hope. We don't think so. We don't think it's going to be a lingering one. But we've also seen guys return off of those kind of injuries and then take a while to get back to form, right? And not necessarily come back right away.
Yeah.
So sitting there in his position, like, it sucks to have to trade away an Amari Hampton, but I gave him a few trade ideas on what I'd do with Amari Hampton. Surprisingly enough, the man got one done within like 5 minutes of me uploading his team.
What do we? Well, we could either do trade show or do you want to spoil it?
I don't know if he posted it in the trade channel yet.
All right.
And
you want to wait for the show?
Yeah, well, we could put it out there. A little teaser.
Fuck it, we ball. I love it. Like a little snippet. I love this.
Essentially, what he was getting was Kyron Williams and what in 2027 looks to be a fairly early first for his Amari Hampton.
I will say the beautiful part about this league is that you just kind of have to find the nooks and crannies. There's value out there, and it tends to be in the picks, which is sometimes it's wild how much, and this is why like we talk about stuff kind of from a generic market standpoint, the most actionable we can if we were thinking across leagues. We also try to give context when we're answering specific questions here on AMA, so fire them off if you have them. But it's wild how much in different leagues it can change. Like Mike, I'm in some leagues right now, newer startups or startup from 2 years ago, where people hold on to their picks like it's absolutely, like they're giving up their firstborn. And then you have a league like that where it's like he's a contender and the best he can do is get a 27 first. It's early.
Right. But one of those things, I'm not the biggest Kyren fan. I never have been, but the guy's still got the backfield to himself on a good offense. Going to put up points. Martin's doing nothing for him.
I was about to say, but like, what is the difference with a hurt Hampton to Kyren? I'm not saying you wouldn't. I'm not saying even 1 for 1 you would make that, but Mike, if you're telling me I needed to, I mean, I'm very interested to go down to Kyren for far less than 27 early first, honestly. But yeah, I think to your point, that's a smash. Because Hampton, while I love him, Mike, one of the things about that tier of running back, like Hampton's still right now running back 6. The problem is you're kind of paying a premium for just the youth in a way, right? And Hampton, maybe while healthy, was going to give you the smash production of that dynasty value, but there's no guarantee for that, right?
Yeah, I guess it wasn't a 27, it was a 26 in early.
Even if it's an early, okay, well, that's at least more believable because people hate their 26 first, but still, it's Mike. I mean, you kidding me?
This guy
Mike,
is,
I would take a late first, honestly. You give me a late first in Kyren, I would do it.
This guy's 4-10.
Holy crap!
9th place, tied with the other 2 teams that are below him at 2 and 3.
Mike, imagine in a median scoring league, you have 10 fucking losses in 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a very good squad.
And you know what you're like? I need to get rid of this first.
Yeah, I need to trade this baby away.
Listen, shout out DynastyTeamReview.com. That's about as good of a plug as you could get right there.
So take your injured running back asset that everybody seems to covet, unload them onto somebody else unsuspectingly, get their early pick, and get some production back in Kyren Williams. And if you're going to go for it, you don't have your pick this year. It's the best way to do it. You get a little insurance, get a little bit of insurance there. And I don't know what he's going to end up doing with that pick, but it's always nice to have the option, isn't it? 2-3 weeks.
It's kind of like pressure luck here. Like they say you can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, yes, you can. I mean, that's how you have your cake and eat it too, right? I mean, Kyren scores points right now. If something happens to him, you still have the pick. And what if Kyren gives you as much or more than Omar and Hampton does for the next year? And then, oh, hey, I haven't moved this pick because nobody wanted it. And now I'm drafting in the top, 5.
Right.
And with that scoring of that league, Mike, you might find a round to get a really good running back again,
It's as soon as I can get my team review with Mike for my 1 quarterback league. Jay, for $1,000, I'll do it right now.
I was going to say, Mike, I think the price, he had a question earlier. How do I get that green zip? This is one of one, but I will say it's probably a similar cost, the team review for the 10 quarterback league and the jacket here.
Pretty close.
If you willing to assume the position, Jay, we'll make it happen.
For enough money, Adam will give you the shirt off his back.
Listen, if you can find a way to come up with like 6 or 7, I keep putting the number out there. God
damn it.
Shattered backboard Jordans, Mike, that I'm going to need here over the next week. I think we can have a deal. All right.
6 or 7. You're running out, buddy. Your supply's getting real low.
It's. Let's not talk about that. Let's keep the questions. If Brees leaves, what's the future of the Jets' backfield? I mean, so I think that this is actually even more dangerous from that discussion standpoint. People are going to be like, okay, now it's Braylon Allen's time. And I'm not even going to say that it couldn't be. But, Mike, haven't we seen this before where they draft anybody, day 3 guy again, and all of a sudden it's just not actually his backfield? I like Braylon Allen, the player. I like a lot of his game. He's extremely exciting to watch. Mike, I think when we first started South Harmon was when we were watching or talking about him as like a freshman or a sophomore in college. So we've been high on him, but at the same point, Mike, it should be Braylon Allen's job, but I think that's far from a guarantee, just frankly.
Well, I see a lot of people out there, get Isaiah Davis on your team, stash him. And then I go and I look at Isaiah Davis, and I'm like, his high total for carries on the year so far with the hurt Braylon Allen is 3.
It's yeah. I was gonna say, what is 2? Okay, 3. Pretty close.
3 fucking carries. It'll be a shit show of just shittiness, man. And the Jets have been in this position not too long ago because before Brees, let's remember this was going to be Michael Carter, right? It was all about Michael Carter in this backfield. And
I mean, to be fair, Michael Carter, got his chance to start for 1 week in Arizona.
Dude, didn't we have some Bilal Powell like action in there?
Bilal Powell, baby. Mike, you know what's great is I have Isaiah Davis in a few leagues. Best part is, Mike, they're not even best ball. So he's in one particularly, he's still locked on my taxi where you can keep sophomores there. And Mike, there's a couple weeks where he was startable. Only one you maybe knew about it, and he was a running back 17. To your point, high 10 carries. I mean, I think, Mike, if Brees is out of the way, there's a ton of opportunity and run here. So I think Braylon Allen, of what we know, would be the future, but I don't know, Mike. It's just not. The running back position is so fragile, realistically, the way that teams view them and approach them. He doesn't have any I don't view him as someone that would have a real long leash necessarily. Like, this is just his job, and he's going to be given it no matter what. No,
it feels like they'll draft somebody at some point, right?
They almost always do. This is also a team that just they keep missing, but they're drafting running backs every year.
They're pretty fucking good at missing. Pretty good at missing.
They are.
Man, I'm trying to remember.
But I mean, the answer would be Braylon Allen, but it just as easily could be who they haven't put on their team yet.
I guess the real answer is, do we really give a shit unless it's some rookie that we care about? You know what I mean? Like somebody that they actually invest good draft capital in.
Well, the caveat would be, Mike, they have a type, right? It is the Braylon Allen. It's the home run hitting, athlete running back. So, I mean, yeah, but I mean, look where they drafted Braylon Allen, and look how someone like that could show out and come about and be a surprise, so to speak. But no, I mean, we're not going to care about him right out of the box.
Before Brees, it was Michael Carter at 600 yards, leading rusher for the Jets. Before that was 87-year-old Frank Gore. That was fun,
dude.
Let's not forget, before that was Lev Bell at 789 yards. That was winning a lot of leagues for you. Before him, Isaiah Crowell.
Dude, Isaiah Crowell had some weeks. I mean, I can tell you that.
He had some weeks. I mean, before that, there we go. I finally found it, man. 2017. That was the Bilal Powell year, baby. 772 yards.
The reality, though, is that at the moment, with what we've seen from Fields, it's not going to happen. So, Mike, it's a totally new team we're probably looking at, right? They're going to bring in probably some quarterbacks. See it's very hard to pencil in anything other than Garrett Wilson's probably going to be the one there at the receiver position. Like,
yeah,
Mason Taylor does look good, but even that's probably not a lock to be.
That's about all you got, man. It's pretty desolate organization at this point. So
it's just one of those things that I wouldn't be, counting my chickens before they hatch on the Jets team, especially. I would say, is it possible Aaron Glenn is subpar as a coach? To be fair, Fields looked decent under Tomlin for the games he started. I mean, yes, it is possible.
Very possible.
It's also possible, though, and I'm a Fields defender typically. It's also possible that Fields is slow at processing at times and just doesn't do as good of a job at a lot of certain things that are really important for the quarterback position. So I'm not going to dismiss some of the things that Fields has not done this year, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Jets organization has not been criminally problematic. I mean, just look at the flip-flop, right? Aaron Rodgers, we thought, was absolutely cooked. And, he's in Pittsburgh and having the best year he's had since what? I mean, the Achilles tear?
Best year he's had since
before the Achilles tear, but yeah.
Second to last year in Green Bay? Because his last year in Green Bay was shit.
The last year in Green Bay was bad, but the year prior when they had Devontae Adams still, Mike, that might be his best season of all time.
The Last Dance. Yeah. Yeah, that was his best one.
Dude almost went for 50 tugs. Pause.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Aaron Glenn, I got faith in Aaron Glenn too, but you'd like to see him give him some time to like build up his culture, whatever it's going to be. But I mean, it is what it is. We've seen, man, there was a year we had, was it Cardinals coach? Was it Steve Wilkes?
Wilkes, yeah.
And the Broncos coach, Vance Joseph, both first year coaches, didn't make it through.
Gone.
This season.
Well, Mike, right now, it's really crazy when you think about that game, week 1, how they played, and they very, very easily could have won that game. And now it's like, dude, the idea of them sniffing a win, no.
They look like a shell. They look like a shell of what we saw in week 1 was like, okay, if this is your formula for how you're going to win games or be successful, I love it.
Week 1 honestly feels like a different football team. Yeah, exactly. Legitimately.
Different time, man.
Yeah.
Different time, ready to crown Justin Fields as like the best value at quarterback in all of Dynasty to now getting benched for Tyrod fucking Taylor. Life comes at you fast.
It does. Won't Hampton be back in 2 weeks? I mean, he's eligible to return, but I don't think it's a lock.
I don't know. Especially with these injuries. I have no idea. Like JJ McCarthy was supposed to be back 2 weeks ago.
Well, again, that's where it's to be completely honest. Even the teams don't necessarily know. They're having to go through rehab and see how their body feels, right? But
yeah,
Hampton also, Mike, to me, went on IR really quick. They were quick on that trigger, so it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be right back.
Because you watch how he got injured. Just like it just looked like he got kicked in the ankle and stumbled, and that was it. You're like, oh. Well, okay. Precautionary. They're taking him to the sideline. And then it wasn't, like, to your point, right afterwards. I mean, we're talking, like, immediately after the game. Martin Hampton going on IR.
Yeah, well, it was like
shopping around for running backs. You're like, what the fuck?
I remember vividly we're on recap, and I saw in the chat and saw on X, he's in a walking boot, right? And I'm like, oh. Not great, but you have seen sometimes where people are in a walking boot and they do play. And I'm like, all right, maybe. And shortly after, it was already on IR. So it wasn't a great situation. Mike, I was going to ask you another question here before we get out of here. A couple quick takeaways here just conversation points. The running back position. So right now, when we're talking about the rookies, it's starting to feel – this class is feeling really odd, honestly. Like – because we're kind of getting close to the point where you would see typically running backs start to make the turn, meaning like they're starting to show us a little bit of that upside and they're getting ready to capture the snap share, right? Think DeAndre Swift. If you think of that like that running back class in 2020, that was kind of what you saw, J.K. Dobbins, all those type of guys, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like right now, Genty is – before this week I was going to say getting the work. That was the worst – honestly, Mike, it felt like the worst coach football game and most dominant performance I've seen in a long time. He had 7 touches, but you have him, right? You have him basically a workhorse that's in an awful situation. You got Hampton hurt. Judkins and Cam Scatterbo right now, Mike, are the two that feel breaking away from the pack, right? That are getting to that next level. The rest is just feeling so, frankly, misappropriately used and probably valued at the moment in Dynasty now as well because of it.
You have one running back out of this whole class that I feel good about. Right now, I got one running back. One singular fucking running back out of what was
and it ain't Cam.
The greatest running back class we've ever seen.
For him.
Yeah. One running back out of this whole class.
And that's Quinshon?
It's Quinshon.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the work that Cam Scatterbo is getting, and you can't deny the fact that he's going to give you production because he's getting so much work.
Sure.
The things I don't like is I don't think he's a very good NFL running back, and that play style is not fucking sustainable. It never has been. I mean, the last time that was sustainable, John Riggins or Larry Zonka with a single bar right down the middle of their fucking face mask.
You bite your tongue. Larry Zonka from Stowe, Ohio.
Larry Zonka's a legend, but it's been a while since that's been a thing, and those are Hall of Famers.
History does have a tendency to repeat itself.
Maybe. Yeah. And there's bad history too, right?
Yeah,
we saw Peyton Hill this year, for fuck's sake.
There is. I think Cam Scatterbo, to be honest, if we're being real, right, there's definitely all the points that you're making are the reasons you could not be optimistic. I will say he already, I think, before the draft process, felt like, I don't want to go unicorn as in like a, elite prospect type thing. A little bit of a unicorn, like he's his own mold, right? Like you're betting on an outlier, and I think everybody knows that with Cam Scatterbo, right? Like I think, frankly, you that's kind of what he is. The crazy part is just that, though. He's kind of just a crazy, wild psycho, yeah. And I mean, it's football, so there's that. But I hear you. Let me ask you though, with Quinshon, then let's talk Travion Henderson. Let's talk, JCM, RJ Harvey, the rest of the. I mean, honestly, Mike, it's a far cry at this point. I don't even know. Caleb Johnson is down almost in the 40s. So the rest of the running back class, what do we do here?
Well, you want to point to 2020 and go like, well, you got to be patient, right? Like we always want the here right now. I want them to be good now. I want them to show me something now. And sometimes it takes a while. Adam, like this is a weird spot because I don't know how long to tell people to keep fucking waiting, right?
Yeah. Great movie, by the way. Go check that out if you haven't seen it.
I could tell them last week, keep waiting. But then we get another week in the books. RJ Harvey, minimal usage. Travion Henderson, still can't get on the fucking field and get used at all. Bayshal Tune can't overtake or even come close to taking Travis Etienne's job, who's not good. Well, Caleb Johnson is losing out opportunities to fucking Kenneth Gainwell.
Mind you, with the Tootin thing, right? Tootin and Cam Scatterbo often were drafted back to back, right? Right in the same range.
Yep.
Tootin had, I thought the break that Tootin had and everyone was waiting for was the trade. And they made that trade early with Philly. You're like, okay, here you go.
There it is.
Bigsby's gone. They're going to start. It's been the Travis Etienne show, which is, you think about that? Travis Etienne, first round running back. Obviously, there's change of scenery and stuff, but they draft Bigsby. You're thinking Bigsby's he's going to be a problem to him in his rookie season. He wasn't. Then the next year, he actually gets a lot more usage to kind of be a thorn in Etienne's side. And then let's get rid of this kid. Kind of a wild situation. Speaking of the Braylon Allen, people that are betting on that guarantee, it's just you don't know year to year. Frankly, I'm sorry.
Just don't know, man.
But I'm
a few
going
weeks
back,
ago, I would have told you Woody
Marks
was going to be a thing, and then Houston's like, nah, we good.
So the Swift, I want to go through these 2020 guys just because it felt like. I think the 2020 class was better at the running back position, but, if we're just thinking about a class that we could look at a bigger sample size, Mike, DeAndre Swift in 2020, right, his rookie season, week 6 has 14 carries, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, right? Now, his usage was always sporadic that year because of the situation he was in, and he got hurt, but that was kind of like his coming out party, right? Listen, for RJ Harvey, for some of Travion Henderson, we're not even double-digit touches? Are you kidding me? Like, not even.
That's a pipe dream at this point, right?
I'm thinking J.K. Dobbins was about the same, right? Let's see, 2020. He also seemed to only get half the work. But, okay, week 8, Mike, was when he had his big game, 15, 113. So my point is basically we're on, if you think of like, the expiration date, so to speak, we're getting close to that point of, okay, we're teetering on a lost rookie season, frankly. And I think nobody likes to take a loss on a first-round pick, but do you like to hold a first-round pick loss and let it get to lower value, and you literally don't get any points from it all season? That's, I think, the conversation you have to have with yourself.
And then, your boy, Cam Akers, right? Injured to start the year, came back, got injured again.
He was probably the latest, but to your point, he got hurt a couple times, right?
Yep.
He didn't have a big game till like right by the playoffs, week 14 or something like that.
Fantasy playoffs, yep, week 13. Well, week 12 he was RB16, and then it just went on from there.
Yeah, and there was also an injury, if I remember right.
Yep. It feels like we're right on the precipice. It feels longer than we've ever waited before, even thinking about the 2020 class. But to your point,
we are impatient. Some of these, but yeah, it's right on the. I think it's right on the cusp, Mike. Like, and here's the problem. Frankly, everybody we just talked about, Mike, we haven't seen even a bit of breathing like life, frankly. Like these guys aren't getting work. They're not getting any work. Travion Henderson, Mike, got nothing this last week. That was insane.
Dobbins was probably the worst out of that bunch as far as what he was splitting and like his workload at him. But Jesus, I mean, we're still looking at by week 6 he was getting 9 carries. Week 8 he had 15.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
you know what we'd give right now for RJ Harvey and Travion Henderson to get 9 fucking carries?
Well, they need at least 2 weeks, maybe 3.
You got to add them together at this point.
I mean, yes, but it also be like that's kind of like Mike, the way that Mike and I showcase our South Harmon Neon Light. Like, yeah, they're showcasing him as the feature back, right there in front of your eye lobes.
Like, yeah, and they don't let him go out there and fumble, right?
I do think it's like an old school thing with Travion Henderson, but it doesn't matter. The situation is the situation. And frankly, Harvey's probably in a similar boat with Peyton.
They've all bled so much fucking value up to this point because of how impatient we are. Just how absolutely ridiculously impatient we are.
We're in the heat of production and point scoring season, and we're also at this week especially, Mike. We're hitting the buy apocalypse, right?
But let's look at Travion, probably the highest out of the disappointing guys. Well, Genty's going to be up there. Omari and Hampton's going to be up there. But let's talk.
Travion's different. Travion's different because Genty and Hampton's hurt and Genty's disappointing, but they're still keeping their high value. Travion is fallen to outside the top 50, so I think he's definitely the conversation.
So we're in peak point scoring season, Adam. 1 for 1. Would you trade your Travion, who hasn't done anything, for Breece Hall?
So, okay. This is, I guess in a vacuum, sure. The one thing I wanted to point out, okay, is, Mike, if I'm going to trade my Travion Henderson or these guys away, Travion's probably a little different because he's in that first round range. I think a lot of the other guys aren't necessarily even worth a first anymore, right? Travion might be in a first roughly conversation.
Maybe.
Do I need to have a running back production, or am I better off like kind of getting off of the running back altogether here and going to the receiver? Because I would do it if I needed a running back, and it's like, hey, Breece Hall goes straight in my lineup, running back 2, running back 1, done deal, Mike, sign, seal, and deliver. Yes, I'm in. If I don't necessarily need that, I might rather pivot to a wide receiver. But Travion's probably the one exception because the other guys get to a lower value, frankly.
Kenneth Walker.
No.
Javonte Williams.
I feel like I should be trying to get a little bit of a plus back, even if it's gross, but I probably would, push come to shove, give me a third or something, yeah.
These are the guys that Travion's around. Now the guys RJ Harvey's around. Listen, Bill is above him.
Yeah, Bill and RJ Harvey are the same asset, honestly, at this point.
Except for Bill gives you better production.
Dynasty value-wise, yes.
Yeah,
Bill obviously playing.
RJ Harvey, Derrick Henry, straight up.
Wow. Mike, I'll tell you this. If I don't hate it. I think I'd prefer to get a little safer asset, but honestly, Mike, I really don't hate it. If you believe the Ravens are going to have a, ferocious comeback, which we've seen them do before, maybe not to this degree, yeah, I think I would. Now, that's like a 1-year rental, though, probably, at this point. It feels like he's really getting, thin on the time with Henry.
But to my original point, like, these guys have fallen so fucking far.
Can I say, though, right? Mike, I will say, with these guys, I kind of stop and draw the line, though, Mike, at this point here. Derrick Henry, I would do it for. I'd probably do it for Etienne and Chase Brown. But like the next group of guys here, Mike, I think I would prefer to just shop elsewhere or do something else. Like Jordan Mason, it's not really what I'm looking to do, honestly. Chuba Hubbard, not really what I'm looking to do, frankly. But there's other guys that you could make the conversation for. Charbonnet maybe, DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins. So there's other options, but I'm not looking to pivot into a Jordan Mason, frankly, right now, or guys that are like David Montgomery even. Like, there's not a lot of upside. There's not a lot of work.
This is pretty fucking bad, man. I'm trying to look.
So and that's where I think once you get to this range, I'd probably see if I could just liquidate, get a second, or can I get like a receiver instead, or Fuck, maybe even the quarterback right now with the way the quarterbacks are scoring.
You know how bad this is for like Harvey, Travion, Caleb at this point? It's almost as bad, if not worse, than what Trey Benson was last year in his rookie year. And look what we did with him in the offseason.
Right. Now, I think Travion we definitely thought much higher of as a prospect. But the other guys we really didn't, honestly.
But Trey Benson, if you remember, we had an AMA where we were asked, and I think I even said at that point with Trey Benson where he was going, that we had Jonathan Brooks in like the top 10.
Yeah.
And we had Trey Benson just like right below it, like RB1 territory.
I'm not saying that people didn't like, but Benson was a you liked him or you didn't prospect, right? He was polarizing. I think Travion Henderson's been the top of this class. Well, a class prior before, but he's been in the elite prospect. But to your point, it's not much different. I do think with Travion Henderson, where they drafted him, Mike, it's insane to think that they wouldn't eventually go to use him, even if it's next year, just because, he was basically a first-round pick. Wasn't it like the first or second, third pick off the second round? Like, that's crazy high. But, hey, we've seen weirder things happen. I mean, Rashad Penny, fucking first-round pick,
302 for Trey Benson, and we fucking buried him after 1 year.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I remember when we almost buried him after he got hurt. After
how about this? How about for the best answer, Adam?
Okay.
I'm gonna give these fuckers one more week. You better show a pulse, or I'm full on just, dude. Can I trade you Travion for Javonte Williams straight the fuck up right now? Can I get Derrick Henry? Can I get?
Well,
I mean, sticking at the running back spot. Ideally, like you said, I'd rather go to a fucking wide receiver any day. We don't have these problems over there.
Well, the other problem, though, Mike, is if we're being honest, we just talked about how thin the running back position is realistically as far as point scorers, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a pretty good chance, I think, in a lot of leagues where, listen, if you had Javonte as your running back 2 or 3, you're in a good position. There's a chance that these guys that we're talking about, the ones that we would like to bet on, just aren't really for sale for a guy that's not producing, right? To your point, you do a team review for Sparky, right? He's a contender. You know what you get him? A down tier in a fucking early first because people want to get rid of their picks.
What did we do on 4D? Was it 3 weeks ago we did the rookie redraft at that point? It was 5 weeks in.
Yep.
5 weeks in.
And
like
then
week 5.
A couple weeks ago we did the Mm-hmm.
And I think one of our biggest takeaways we both had is when we did the first round, we're like, okay, we still got hope. We're still early enough in the season. We still like our picks, right? And it didn't start to get gross later. Adam, now, Genty. Concerned, but listen, it's still Ashton Genty, right? Like we still got value. Amari and Hampton, we still got hope.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned for
fine.
Genty for sure. I mean, it's worse than you'd like to think it could have been. But Mike, I mean, he's still the guy there, so I'm not like overly concerned.
But then Cam Ward, downright awful. Travion, awful. Mm-hmm. Production-wise, right? I saw in the comment, we haven't seen him fail. That is about the only thing he's got going for him right now. We just haven't seen him fail. Travis Hunter.
Define fail. Just because you didn't get to shoot doesn't mean you didn't make it.
Outside of last week for Travis Hunter, we were shitting our pants. Quinshawn, it's been phenomenal. RJ Harvey, ass. Egbuka, phenomenal. Tyler Warren, phenomenal. Caleb Johnson, ass. Matthew Golden, ass.
Caleb Johnson easily is the worst first-round pick of the bunch, right? Because he hasn't gotten any work, and he was the most, I think, fringe prospect. Like Travion's still keeping value somehow, right? Where people are basically putting Caleb. I mean, Caleb's almost a running back 40 at this point, Mike. It's crazy.
That's fair, but that cuts both ways too. Because what I had to spend to get Caleb Johnson in the first round isn't what people had to spend to get the 105 Travion Henderson.
Well, put it like this. So let's say you took Caleb at what, 110, 111?
111.
Okay, so right now you're probably lucky to get a 211 back. You take Travion at what do you take him? 106, 105, 104,
105.
Okay, let's say 105. You could get a late first back. It does cut both ways, but Mike, the point is, I guess, even though it was a late first, Caleb's barely a second-round pick at this point. Travion Henderson definitely has lost, but he's still a first-round consideration. I think there's probably people thinking they're buying low, sending a late first for Travion Henderson. I would. Can I say that would be something, Mike? I think that would actually be maybe the easiest button for me to press. Fuck it, I will re-roll.
Do you remember Barry giving me shit too for taking having the conviction to take Quinshawn at the pick I did, and I said the only reason I took Quinshawn is because I'm a dumbass and I didn't see Jaxon Dart was on the board.
Dart was on the board. Yeah, I saw that.
Turns out I kind of knew what I was doing, huh? Either way, we're still good.
Well, yeah, Quinshawn is the only show in town for Cleveland, but I guess I guess the point is overall, man, when you get to Bipocalypse money, we're at week 8. The idea of not keeping liquidity to me just is still so mind-numbing. I don't get it.
How about this from Hillbillies? Mecca Egbuka be a top 3 rookie pick right now if we had a do-over. Knowing what you know now.
He's number 1.
I don't know if he'd be number 1, but yeah.
He could be number 1.
For you, for sure. I'd sit here and I'd be like, quarterbacks, Superflex, Jaxon Dart, fuck off.
Well, yeah, and you would be wrong again, but that's okay.
Oh, my God.
Mike, Egbuka is literally without Evans now for the season. Godwin's not healthy, and he's a top 8 receiver. He's on the conversation with Malik Nabers. Like, it's Hillbillies. The answer is for dynasty value. It's not Jaxon Dart.
It's Jaxon Dart.
The warp tool is down, as is the warp scoring for the entire quarterback position yet again. So, listen, Jaxon Dart goes up the board, but he's not number 1. If there was anyone that wasn't Egbuka, it would be Genty, and it's not Genty.
Number 1, Jaxon Dart.
Well, so it's good to know that speaking of integrity, one side does have it, and the other's like, fuck it, we're just riding. Jaxon Dart, number 1 overall. Why would we do that? Tell me.
Quinshawn Judkins, number 2, just to piss you off.
Quinshawn could go 2. That'd be fine. Right behind that, we could go. Yeah, that'd be good. I like that. But Tez Johnson season. What was a couple other questions here? Would you trade Scatabo straight up for Travion at this point? I mean, so one of the things, like the back end, let me address the second question first. We always tend to like to do this, especially with rookie picks. It's interesting how in startups, Mike, we tend to forget about that pretty quick. Like we forget about that a lot quicker. Rookie picks, it's like, no, I took him at 105. Like we remember that fucking 3 years later for some reason.
Right. We forget the startups quickly. We don't give a fuck after that.
But the truth is, it's just sunk cost fallacy. We don't live in yesteryear. Mike, if I knew what I knew now, I would have pressed Egbuka more than I got him. But you know, you just don't know that. So it's sunk cost fallacy, the second part. And I would say, really more so to your question, you're trading out of a great prospect for a less than prospect. But honestly, though, you've already kind of missed, so to speak, with Travion. The only reason I wouldn't do this, Mike, is because I might just prefer to get another shot at the dartboard again, so to speak. Jaxon Dart, can't get that, but a different shot at the dartboard where Cam Scatabo kind of feels like a rising asset, but is going to be tied hand in hand to his production as well. So if you needed the production, I don't necessarily hate it. But honestly, I think I'd rather re-roll Travion personally.
The last time I was in this situation, I didn't make a good choice.
What'd you go with? What was the situation? Let's hear it. Come on.
QJ and Puka.
Oh shit. That was not where I thought you were going with that. Okay.
I didn't make a very good choice then, right? Which does kind of weigh on me, but
oh, super chat late. Jake, what's poppin'?
I think I go back to the fucking well, man. I'm gonna go back to well. I gotta get one of these right. I would trade my Scatabo for Travion Henderson, unless I was like really locked into competing and I needed the points for sure.
Wait a minute.
Like
maybe I misread this.
Would you trade Scatabo straight up for Travion?
I did. I went dyslexic for a second there. I thought you were saying Travion's burning a hole in your pocket. You need production.
He's going to trade away his Scatabo.
I was reluctantly willing to do it if you needed production.
Tough, ain't it? That's a tough one.
I don't think I would have the stones to do it.
I got the stones. Fuck it, Ian. Send it.
Mike, can I tell you why?
Pressure luck. Shattered backboard incoming.
Well, so there you go. You should take the other side because my luck is always bad on this shit. But, Mike, it doesn't feel like the coaching situation that's seemingly a problem here is going to change with the way the Patriots are playing right now either. That's the other fucking big worry for me. It's Ramondre Stevenson, for God's sakes. We were ready to write him off. We already did write him off.
Vrabel was also the guy that gave like a really shitty running back carries over Derrick Henry early on in his career, isn't he?
And it lasted for like a couple seasons, for God's sakes.
I know the DeMarco Murray thing. DeMarco was still good when he was getting work over rookie.
You're talking what's his name? Deion Lewis.
Fucking Deion Lewis.
But here, let me give you the crazy part. This is why, to me, I know it's a little more personal because the reason you do this, right? You play the vet ahead is because it's the seasoned veteran. He's going to do the right things. He's not going to miss the assignments. Mike, you have a less talented back doing exactly what the Vrabels of the world hate.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Fuck that! I'm leaning into this."
I'm telling you,
that part just
pictures.
Again. There's no there's no process here other than something just really don't pass the smell test there. Unless
let's find out.
Maybe Trayvon Henderson's not very good. Just turned 29. Any advice for the boy? Hold on a second, Jake. I just realized this. Super chat, Mike. Jake, is your birthday today?
Is it today or was it yesterday?
Mike's was yesterday. We need to know.
It's still kind of cool. We're right next to each other.
Even if it's even if you were a day apart.
Hey, Jen Vrabel ain't bad looking either.
Drink water and stretch. Oh, by the way, Vrabel went to high school across the street from where I went. Walsh Jesuit High School.
Walsh
Jesuit High School. Yep.
Nice.
Walking distance from my parents' house still. But 29. I'll say this. Enjoy this. Enjoy your last year in your 20s.
Yep.
Buddy, let me just tell you, I have hit the proverbial brick wall the last 2 days, but it's just not the same in your mid to upper 30s.
10-21. DJ got the same one.
Wow.
Bring it in.
That just happened.
10 years apart. On the nuts.
That's
Pause.
10 years apart from the nuts.
From the nuts.
Love that. That's actually pretty crazy. That is pretty wild.
My dad smashed my mom 10 years before your dad smashed your mom.
I told you, just like Scatabo and Zonka, history has a tendency to repeat itself, you know?
For every Mike, they make a Jake.
So what's your I literally don't even like these conversations, so I don't even know why. But what's your sign? Everyone wants to know what your sign is.
Wow. I don't give a shit about them at all, but I am a Libra.
Libra, okay.
For whatever that's worth.
Okay. I don't even know what that means, to be honest. But
I don't know what the fuck that is either.
So Jake's a Libra. I'm kind of asking you to save the time.
We're Libras.
Yeah, Libra bros. Okay.
And we're 2 days before the cutoff, right? October 23rd. Then you go to something else. I don't even know what else.
Well, that's what I was also wondering because I'm a Scorpio. I just know what I am, and I'm on the 16th of November. So I was wondering if it's the same or not.
Here you go. We'll go in depth. Our element is air.
Well,
our ruling planet is Venus, which Venus is the planet.
I have no idea what any of this shit means, other than people ask me all the time what it is. You know,
our symbols are the scales, reflecting a focus of balance and fairness.
Your symbol's the scales, like scaling,
like scales. No, like scales, like
Okay. Oh, okay. Got
scales
it.
of justice. That kind of scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just your element's air. I was thinking, wait, is this a fish out of water?
Personality traits. People born under the sign are often described as cooperative, diplomatic, and social. They're known for being fair-minded, but it also can be indecisive and avoid conflict.
I will say they definitely fucked up with whatever the date is in this sign for sure. We can rule out that.
What we really like is harmony, gentleness, and sharing, and what we dislike is violence, injustice, and confrontation.
Jake saved.
Happy birthday, Jake.
Jake saved the we didn't have to keep going down that rabbit hole. Who gives a shit about the sign is sometimes I just randomly say the wrong dumb shit. And thank you for saving us, Jake. By the way, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Mike. Man, listen, man. The next time Mike and I are getting on.
Wow. Great pull, Barry. Barry found the fucking emoji for scales or whatever the fuck. This symbol for it. He put it in. It looked like a pair of nuts.
Dude, I was gonna say.
It looked like a fucking nutsack.
Dude, that's the stones of someone that doesn't want to trade their fucking rotting first round pick.
Dude, I had to look real closely because that looked like a fucking nutsack. I was like,
they're droopy,
but a really tiny nutsack. Barry dropping his tiny nuts in chat. Let's go.
All right, we'll get this last question, and
let's do it.
We will see you guys back here for AMA. Also,
recap.
Shout out. Well, yeah, shout out to. I just know that I keep losing shattered backboards. Give me locks with the short pool and the shattered backboards. Mike, Chris Godwin jersey, Amari Hampton jersey, 4 pairs of the shattered backboards. We have all kinds of giveaways, and it will be kind of a weird, spooky, fun time. Always a blast. We'll see if Mike...
Take my shirt off.
Yeah, we'll see if Mike gets naked, but I don't have anything really else to promise you other than all that.
Before we scare everybody else, let me pull out these white man titties.
Honestly, Mike, speaking of scales, I mean, you've lost a lot. I honestly think people really want to see them now. You know,
they're pretty droopy. Yeah, listen. You could push them together and do some things to them.
People are into that type of sort of a thing. As a rebuilding team, I'm being offered a 26 and 27 second for JCM. Should I take the picks? Currently, I hold the 101 and another late 26 first. 10 team super flex. 10 team kind of makes me want to say no a little bit. Well, here's what I would say. I would go ahead and make the move off of JCM if you're telling me, like, hey, I got to get rid of points. I don't know. 10 team seconds, Mike, late seconds and 10 team just feel...
Seconds in general. You and I went through this. We
just did 2 weeks ago, speaking of 4D.
I would say twofold. I would strongly consider this.
I definitely would too. Definitely would too.
I would strongly consider this. One, like you mentioned, Adam, it keeps points off my fucking team, right? It does. The only thing I would say, Jay, is don't take those seconds with the idea of, I'm going to make these picks and they're going to be superstars. Take them with the idea of, listen, when it comes draft time and I may have another 26 first, whatever it is, and I got a range, like, man, I need to get this wide receiver because this is the last fucking guy in the first round that's like in a tier of his own or whatever it is. Use those picks then to move your other first into that tier, right? Like use them, package them along to go get that shit with that idea in mind. And if you do that, you're fine. If you take them and you just sit here and hold them and you stick and pick with whatever the fuck these are, you're going to be sorely disappointed. That's not even accounting for the fact that maybe JCM turns it on. Maybe he actually becomes an Elijah Mitchell, James Robinson type, an Isaiah Pacheco, down the stretch of the season, which is in the range of outcomes. It's not likely, but it could happen.
Well, and that's where perfect segue to get us. Mike, you threw me the softball to get us up out of here. Both of these, regardless of which you decide to go with, right? Both of these, they're not assets you should be building around, frankly, right? No. Like JCM, even if he has a spike, I think you should be treating both of these as spike potential assets, right? So meaning if you take the seconds, when the drafts come around, consider moving them, or as the drafts are getting closer and you're seeing a value peak, right? Everyone's like, oh, when I say, I want to try to trade them when they're getting close to peak value, like as if I know when it's going to go up and stop. When I say that, I mean when you're seeing the value kind of go up on them and they're getting closer to what their value is going to be at draft time, I'm looking to probably pivot if I can. You may not be able to, but then if I'm drafting a player, I want to do the exact same thing as I'm thinking with JCM. If there's a bump in value, I'm trying to flip as well. If you do decide to hold on to JCM, I think what you need to do, Mike, honestly, in a situation like this is I'm glad I almost forgot about this part. Think about when you go to a blackjack table, Mike, or you go to the casino. Set yourself a limit. And what I mean by that is, okay, JCM, I'm looking to cash out. If I don't take this offer, I'm looking to cash out for a first. Basically, like in blackjack, if I get to $500, like you buy them for $100. If I get to $500, I'm walking, right? Set yourself a limit, because a lot of times what happens is an asset can go up and you're like, oh, I'm buying in, and you watch it go to zero. So I'm looking to probably profit off of one of these one way or the other. So if this is the profit you think you're realistically going to get, the problem is in 10 team 2, Mike, is JCM really going to go for a first? You're probably going to have to find a way to thread that needle. If you're going to do it, it's going to be tough.
Well, you got JCM like, Bitcoin before we knew what the fuck it was. Before we knew it was going to be something. And if you sold your Bitcoin at $90,000 and then you saw it go to 118, you're like, I could have got more. But also, you're sitting there with $90,000 on something you spent nothing on. Right? Like, you don't give a fuck, right? They just take the profit, be excited, move on with yourself. And if you do that more times than not, listen, there are going to be some where you go, oh shit, Puka Nakua, that sucks. Amon-Ra St. Brown, that sucks.
You still traded at a W, even though it wasn't what you love, right?
But I can give you a list of ones that you wish you would have fucking traded. You really wish you would have traded because they're worth nothing. And it was slowly after people were asking, hey, you think I get a first for Jordan Mason?
What do you think about? Yes, how about Marshawn Lloyd? Can I get a first for him? What about Kendre Miller on IR again, out for the year? Poor kid.
There's a longer list of shit I wish I would have than, I did it too soon.
Mike, speaking of a long list of shit, that is a perfect way to get us out of here. We'll see you back here same time, same place, but we will definitely see you before that. Make sure you're there for all the giveaways and all the spooky season.
Yes, sir.
This Sunday the 26th at 7:15. We're out of here. Peace.
Finally breaking ground on the new South Harmon Stadium. We're glad you're here today.
All of those who doubted me, you seem ignited. Today is the day you bow. Egbuka's time to shine.
They're at our doorstep. They're gonna break in. We've gotta go now.
I'm getting spooky tonight. Hey.
Run.
We go round the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, we all fall
Down.
You can smell fear in the distance, spring over their lives. Come on, those who better witness them,
Sacrifice. People take it right into the project for a sacrifice. People take it right into the